All right, y'all. I have the guest that I know the best so far out of everybody I've interviewed. I did a lot of preparation for this guest because I wanted to make sure that it was impactful as possible. It's technically stepdad, but if you know me, if you ever say, "Yeah, I was with my dad and we da da da," this is what I'm talking about. So I got Jabar right here. Uh, I mean, it's hard to put into words of how much of an impact he made for me throughout my life. But if you know me, you definitely know about Jabar. Uh, you can introduce yourself further if you want to. You can say what's up, let them know who you are.
Uh, First of all, what's up? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So,
Jabar Wilson. For those that know me, those that don't know me, call me with my first name, and that's Saint. So that's the
definitely.
difference. If you call me Saint, you ain't close to me.
Yeah.
But if you know Jabar, you know me.
So I had to get you on here, most definitely because, like I told you, we was talking. Anytime that we talk, I know a couple things to be true. Uh, First of all, you're probably the most calculated speaker that I know. The most uh, intricate things, everything you say, I know is intentional. I can say that for sure.
Right.
And another thing is that anytime we talk, I know that I'm going to leave with something that is going to stay with me and something that I'm going to remember. And I'm probably going to end up passing on to someone else. That is what I know for sure. So I just want to ask, is that something that you do intentionally, or is that something that just kind of, is that just you?
Um, I say it's kind of a mix because with people that I know aren't impressionable, I don't try to leave one really. I
Okay.
don't, yeah. If I already have like this inclination that I'm wasting my breath, I save it. Cause I'm the type, first of all, you know what I'm saying, I'll sit back before I even have a conversation with you, you know what I'm saying, I don't have an opportunity to sit back and watch you, just people in general, and see how people handle and carry themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't like to mix myself up in bullshit.
For sure.
So I mean, like I said, it's kind of both ways. When I'm talking to you, you know what I'm saying? Like you just said, I know that it's something that you're gonna keep, something that you're gonna carry. And you just said that you pass a lot of it on. So, you know what I'm saying? That was a good
Yeah.
inclination of mine. That was a good inclination of mine to talk to you.
Yeah. See, the thing is, a lot of the things that you tell me, you've told me, as long as I've been having kids, like, the things that I'm telling you, shoot, before kids, you told me one day you're going to tell your kids these things. One day, you know, a lot of the things that you've said, like, you're going to have kids and you're going to see that this, that, and that. And it's like so many things. And I'm like, now I'm seeing it. And it's not like bad things. It's just things that you're just telling me, like, this is how it's going to go. And
Right.
I'm like, and now I'm seeing it. And it's a simple thing, but they're so like important to everyday life.
Right.
It's like
That's
everything
good.
that you tell me, like, I mean, when me and you talk, there's times when I can repeat to you things that you told me when I was probably 6 years old. Like, 'cause that's how much it meant when you said it. And I can't really forget the things that come back around to me. Like, it's kind of just how it's been working. Like, it's a thing of like, you're just a wise man. That's the best way to put it, really. Like,
But you pay attention though. It's a
Yeah.
lot of those things. It's a lot of those things that you could have missed when I was telling you, but you didn't. And the reason why they mean so much to you now is because you can see it for yourself. You woke to it,
Yeah.
as opposed to not having someone tell you something and you have to like experience it bumping your head going through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Even,
both of us are lucky in that sense. Because I don't have to waste my breath with you. And then at the same time, you know what I'm saying, those those things that are so genuine to you, yeah, you definitely gonna be able to pass them on to your babies. And they'll
yeah.
and they'll be you want them to be woke. You
Yeah.
know, you don't want them
That's super important.
you don't want them walking around with their eyes wide shut.
Yeah. Even there was some you told me. We spoke a couple of months ago. I had whatever I had going on with me. You know what I'm saying? And my marriage had some issues going on. And you told me something that sit with me now. I mean, I'm an adult, and it's still things that you tell me now that sit with me. You told me, uh, don't ever get caught being surprised.
Right.
Like being surprised will get you in trouble, depending on the situation, and it can get you killed, depending on the situation. Like,
Right.
and I mean, just things like that that you drop on me, and I'm like, okay, it always and it always just click and it make the most sense, and I'm like, it applies to so much. I think that's what always get me. How it applies to multiple things, and I
That
just
that
always like admire that.
I think that'd be the main basis on a lot of our conversations because the things that I've tried to pass on to you were my experiences. And me thinking about the experiences and stuff that I've had in my lifetime, I didn't have preparation for it. I didn't have somebody to say, beware of this and beware of that. You know what I'm saying? It was just something that, like I said, I had to learn for myself or whatever. And in situations like that, if when you let certain things or certain situations surprise you, while you're surprised, you're in shock. When you're in shock, you can't react. Sometimes you need a split second reaction
Yeah,
instead of standing around taking pictures, using your cell phone to scan what's going on, being ignorant and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to get
yeah,
off deck,
yeah,
especially if it's a situation like you, where you might have your babies with you. You know what I'm saying? Some kick off. You ain't got time to stand around and see what's going on. You know what I'm
I do.
saying? You got to get off deck.
Yeah,
You got to get away from that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It was one time. Um, I was in Wal. We went to Walmart. Um, Me and Christian and Jaden and their mama. We was at Walmart, and Jaden wanted to Walmart on North Tryon,
Yeah.
and
Already
Jaden
highlighted.
Jaden was being lazy. He didn't want to go in the store. He wanted to stay in the car. So his mama asked me. She was like, "You think it's okay?" Jaden 15 now, but
Oh,
he was about 9 at the time, 9 or 10, and his mama was like, "You think it's okay if Jaden sit out here in the car by himself?" And I was like, "No, we need to go in Walmart all together, get this stuff, and get missing." And then she was kind of reluctant, but she went for it. She was like, "All right." So she told Jay to come on. No sooner than we stepped in Walmart, it was somebody in there stealing something, trying to run and get out the door.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I looked at her like, see,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? That you just that's just a part of being aware of your surroundings and being woke, not letting stuff take you by surprise or whatever. Because like I said, more importantly, when something surprises you, it puts you in a state of shock.
Yeah.
And while that shock is resonating in you, you're standing there unable to react to.
Right.
Now, if you could wake up and relive the same day and know what's gonna happen before it happens, you know what I'm saying? Then you
Yeah.
just looking at the clock, waiting for it to happen. Be like, okay, I need to make this movement, or I need to make sure that I say this, or I don't say that. We don't have that. We don't have that benefit though. You know what I'm saying? You just got to
Be
kind
prepared.
of be. You got to be on your p's and q's. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just can't relax.
And it's like some of that right there, it kind of makes it to where I'm like sometimes hyper aware. Like, I mean, it might be times where it could be looked at as maybe not necessary to be as aware as I am, but it feel like, nah, I gotta be prepared for whatever might happen. Like in
Right.
certain situations, especially like you said, especially with the kids. Like if I got my kids and my family with me and my wife with me, and I'm like, all right, now I gotta be looking around, see what's going on, check the environment. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's kind of been just put in me. Like, um, so it's funny because some of my interests that you kind of put me on have turned into like my lifestyle. And I'm referring to things like, as far as like sports, uh, 'cause I was kind of looking at sports a little bit, you know what I'm saying, when I was like a super young, but as far as like really being into it and watching the game and like seeing how different games work that I might
Right.
not have been interested in, that was heavily because of your influence. And uh, things like gaming, like I'm a gamer now. Like it's a part of me. It's like I have to game. Like if I don't game, I'm not. My mind ain't right. Like
I can feel it. I can feel it.
yeah, like and so and even with some of that, like I'm passing it on to the kids without even forcing it. It's like when they were babies and I'm playing the game, they sitting with me just watching me play. And now I done bought 3 controllers over the past couple months just based on them wanting to play too. Like
Right.
it's just it's like it's in my blood almost. Like it's a part of me. Like and if I and it's same with DJ. Like we are full blown gamers, and that's all based on you putting the controller in my hand. Like is that so? With that, is that something that like how did you start gaming? Like what made you want to start playing the game?
Um, I go back to I had a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo. I had a Nintendo DS, and then I finally made the move to PlayStation. Moving to PlayStation when PlayStation came out was a big move because I had to sell my Genesis and all the games just to get a console. I ain't even have no games. I had to wait a couple of weeks before I could get games to the console.
Oh
And then um, uh, after that, games just started being the big thing. I remember we used to have Blockbuster,
yeah,
and Blockbuster that used to just be the thing at that time. You go to Blockbuster, rent some movies, more movies than you knew you could watch.
yeah,
But you know what I'm saying? If you was interested in the movie, you know what I'm saying, you go through the genres. Let me go ahead and get some comedy. Let me get some horror. Let me get some cartoons.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? Something that you
Yeah.
knew you was gonna watch. And then slowly the games that you could like go in the blockbuster and rent started becoming more popular than movies. So gaming started being big, and then I remember I had my own games and stuff, but it was almost like that was just uh when I would play by myself, it was just practice. Because back in the day, the thing was to beat your homeboy in two in not it wasn't 2K then, it was NBA Live.
Yeah.
EA had NBA Live, and they had the football franchise too.
Yeah.
So you get on your game and you practice or whatever, but like everybody was gaming, and there were times when like you might you might pop up at a friend's house for a visit or whatever, and if it's a group of guys gaming, you had to get in and you had to, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you had to go for yours.
Yeah.
So I remember I wasn't that good at first. I could play at home, but
Yeah.
when it was time to showcase, I wasn't that good. I would always lose. And
Yeah.
then gradually it went from losing to just being able to beat me, because that's how my rep gaming built up. Because if they knew they had to play me, they knew they had to be on their game.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point of where I started winning, and then you know what I'm saying, it clicked. I was like, I can do this. I can really do this.
Yeah.
But they know they got us on lock though. You know what I'm saying? People like me
Oh
and
yeah.
you, the real gamers.
Yeah. Yeah. We ain't going nowhere, and they they know that. If they don't know, they can tell by my purchases.
I know that's right.
um. So I was gonna ask. Do you remember the different times when you got? I would call it like tagged in, like from my mom as we got older, because I think about different moments growing up when it was like she probably couldn't get through to me and DJ. And basically, then it would go to you. And I think about different times, like for me personally, there was a time when I was getting caught smoking every year, like just different, just dumb ways, like just getting caught. And you know, she was, she started off, she was crying, you know what I'm saying, just like just dramatic with it and all this stuff. Then it got to you, and you didn't even say much. What you did was you showed me the Ricky Williams story. And basically you showed me how, hey, you an athlete and you can smoke if you want to, but just look, like this how I go if you decide to choose it over what you actually love to do.
Right.
And I mean, you sat me down, the movie was probably 40 minutes. It was a 30 for 30. So I guess it was
Yeah.
like 30 minutes literally.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, and you said a little bit, but mostly it was based on what you showing me. Like, okay, let me show you how this go. And even that, like, I got older and like I would do the occasional like period of time where I was smoking stuff like that. But now as an adult, it don't even excite me. Like smoking
Right.
and stuff like that. It don't fit in with what I like to do.
Right.
And that's do you remember that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I mean, then again, um, a couple things. For one, like mama is very important
Yeah,
in a child's life. But there are so many things that mama can't teach her boy.
yeah, for sure.
Mama can teach the girls more times, you know what I'm saying? But as far as the boys, the mom can't teach the boys how to be men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't
Facts.
whatever she have to say, it have like have like a feminine context
Yeah.
as opposed to dad's masculinity.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, that was probably one of the things that was a conflict with your mama. You know what I'm saying? She knew that it was things that she couldn't teach y'all, or she couldn't make stick with y'all because she wasn't a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's important for you, especially because you know what I'm saying, you raising boys and girls, and
Yeah.
there's a balance, you know what I'm saying? Give mom her space, you know what I'm saying, and her say, but at the same time, demand yours as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, a lot of times we let words go unsaid, and we make excuses like, well, the kids are young, they don't understand right now. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They understand a little more than we give them credit for.
Yeah. For real.
And
I learned that fast.
as they grow up, and you can attest to it, you know what I'm saying? Those things stick with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was just
As
talking on my last podcast episode about how I like to say things to them that just meaningful. I like to say meaningful things, like not
right,
just saying whatever to kind of satisfy them. If they throw in a tantrum or something like that, I'm not just gonna say whatever just to satisfy them. I'm gonna say things that make sense because a lot of times what they'll do is repeat things back to me, and I learned fast that okay, they might not even know what they're saying, but they're gonna know fast what they're saying.
right,
It don't take long after you saying something so many times. It don't take long for them to make sense of what they're saying. And they gonna ask too. They're gonna say, what's that mean? And you better be able to explain it.
exactly.
Can't BS them.
That's why a lot of times, like, especially like with with CJ and Jaden, when I would talk to them, or when I do talk to them, I'll say certain things, and then I look at them and I say, "Do that make sense?"
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I need you to make a definite determination right now if what I'm saying to you makes sense to you.
yeah,
You got to be able to not only rationalize this stuff in your mind while I'm talking to you, but also when I'm not with you.
exactly. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense to you, then there's probably going to be less chance that this other side of your brain can win the competition. And when they start battling, as far as do it make sense, as opposed to am I going to do it anyway?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because we teach our babies right from wrong, but still they have that opportunity to make a decision whether they want to do right or wrong.
right. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
and
the more sense that it makes, the better chance they have. Vea spent the night with me. Um, she spent the night Wednesday night. She left Thursday. Akil's daughter.
yeah.
And our me and Avea's thing is we have like a movie night.
Okay.
Like we had one before she came and spent the night with us, and I called her up. I was like, cause Avea be traveling. She be with her daddy. She be with her mama. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They be going out of town and stuff. and she had just got back from New Orleans. So I told she spent most of her time at my mom and daddy's house. So my mama was over here one day, and I asked her out about Avea. She said, Avea out of town. She ain't back yet. I was like, oh. I was like, well, when she come back, have her call me. So she called me last week, and I was like, Avea, do you want to come spend the night? She was like, yes. I was, and I was like, okay. She was so excited about coming to spend the night. I'm telling her what night is the best night for her to come. And then after I said that, she was like, when should I come? I was like, girl, you done missed everything that I said. But she, you know what I'm saying? I was excited. She was excited. And I thought I was ready.
It was different, huh?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I was really taken by surprise because she had a question for oh man.
Oh yeah.
But I had to answer them though, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, she wasn't asking me just senseless nonsense questions. She was talking about some real shit. She was asking me about animals and asking me about people and you know what I'm saying, some stuff on TV. Like I made a comment. She asked me about something and I said, Avea, you gotta be careful. People are stupid. She was like, yes, they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Avea live, bro. She live.
I
She
had to
go ahead.
I had to check myself probably years back now, like, you know, because it was the same thing with my kids, and they all kind of started talking and stuff around the same time. So like
Around the same
they
time. So
shooting
you got
they
instead of
shooting
10
them at me
questions,
crazy.
you got 30.
Yeah. And it's like
Machine gun question.
rapid fire for real. And I had to make sure that I wasn't like BSing my answers because like it was starting to turn to that just based on like
Yeah,
frustration.
it's easy to cap.
Yeah, and I didn't want to keep doing that because like for one they wasn't taking it, especially Kalea. She's not gonna take a nonsense answer because if it don't make sense in her head, she like, nah, I don't that don't make sense for what I do know. Like, so you can't BS her. So I had to realize like, okay, I got to give them real answers, and even when I'm frustrated, I got to just kind of fight through, and unless it gets excessive. But if this question that makes sense, I gotta like give them real answers.
You used to ask a lot of questions.
Yes,
And
I remember that.
whenever I would get frustrated, instead of being frustrated and showing my frustration, what I would say, I would tell you, I would like, okay, Keon, question time is over for right now. I need to rest.
Oh yeah,
And you understood that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a punishment type thing or nothing like that because you was thirsty for answers.
yeah,
And you know what I'm saying? A lot of that thirst I quenched.
yeah,
And it with you, it almost seemed like you wanted to get as much as you could while you could.
yeah,
While we had the conversation going on or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
wanted to get absolutely as much out of it as you possibly can. And I definitely understand that frustration because back when you was little, me and your mom was working for your daddy. He was living in motel rooms. There was a lot going on.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you can get
And
some questions all day.
me and your mama carried a lot of stress, tiredness, frustration. You know what I'm saying? But we couldn't turn our back on y'all.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But
that's one of the things.
I think that's the best thing you probably can do is like allow them to know that you're giving to them, but at the same time, you get tired too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And put it
Yeah.
out there, so that they know that a part of respecting you is giving you some space.
Right. Yeah. Because
Cause
they'll ask questions until they go to sleep. Like literally laying in bed asking questions. I gotta like shut it down. Like it'll keep going. Especially, now the thing now is like, what time is it? When they got nothing to say. Like they will come downstairs and say, uh, what time is it? And I'm like, why do it matter to you? You got somewhere to go? Like,
you know what
that's
I
what
do?
time is it?
I would either buy a big clock or
Yeah.
I'll buy everybody a watch.
Yeah. I had got them watches too one time. I ain't set them though. But I did get them watches one time. I said, let me wrap this up. I got to get up out of here.
That's cool. Yeah, thanks for
Jerry.
having me, son. I hope I can come back on soon.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got to get you back on because, this was just a piece of what I could have went into for real. Like,
We'll
it's a
keep it
lot.
going.
Yeah, most definitely. All right. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you, man.
All right. I'll holler at you.
All right, I love you.
Love you too.